Ladies and gentlemen, this is a podcast. So, guys, Nick Tricombe.
Steve Herman, what's up?
My cat.
You're back.
I'm back. What it is, Zachapakian.
Is he just going to be here now?
It's what it looks like for the time being.
Ah, damn it.
Heel tactics by Trico.
It's alright, Zach. You're cool.
Thank you.
Anyway, we called this Out of Nowhere podcast to order because I thought it would be a good idea to talk about Hell in a Cell 14 1 year later.
Yeah.
At the time of this recording, we're like less than 48 hours away.
Yeah.
From
Hell in a Cell this Sunday.
Hell in a Cell this Sunday. Taker, Lesnar. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Shit's gonna be crazy.
Shaquille O'Neal's gonna win the world title from Seth Rollins.
Shaquille.
If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you gotta go listen to episode 11 proper.
Yes, pretty much.
But yeah. So in retrospect, Hell in a Cell 14. I just want to start off by asking you guys what your memory of it is in general.
For me, just that Seth and Dean Ambrose match. I mean, they really. For the PG era, that was probably the best Hell in a Cell match I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah,
for me, at least.
The lasting image for me is them falling off the side of the cage, the tables.
That was a great spot by both of them, for sure.
I know, just to have Wyatt come back at the end, too, to attack Ambrose.
That was a really interesting way he came back, too.
I know.
Really interesting way.
That's the same thing to Roman Reigns at another pay-per-view in the future, too. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that
Two
is.
Shield members.
That is
he's
weird.
fighting both of them.
Yeah.
Well, you see, it's funny that you two remember the part where they fell off the cage.
Yes.
I just remember Dean Ambrose's walk to the cage. You know,
Yep.
He walks in, starts throwing not tables. He just starts throwing chair after chair into the ring. Has a kembo stick, and then he's just in the middle, and he just looks up, and you're like, oh.
And then what does he say? Remember what he said?
We're not gonna die tonight.
That was awesome.
It was nuts. That was the night where I'm like, yeah, Ambrose is my favorite.
Yeah. And that's shocking. They didn't even have the title on the line that pay-per-view for the world title because Lesnar had the title then. So that was
They're
pretty
the
shocking.
One contenders.
Yeah.
Rollins had the briefcase.
Yeah.
Still.
I mean, they still booked a pretty good show without the world title, I thought, for this show overall last year.
Yeah, I mean, especially like we said for the one that's coming up now in the last episode, for a B pay-per-view, this is usually one of the better ones.
Yeah, for sure.
Just adding the Cell to the mix, I mean.
Yeah, always seen that structure's always awesome.
It's one of those things where, light the ring on fire and it's going to be cool.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it's one of the things where you go back and look at what the WWE was in 2014, and that's going to be the first thing I remember, that match between Rollins and Ambrose.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some other good stuff to go through too, but I mean that was the main event for a reason.
Yes, it was.
That
feud alone was great.
My
That was a
biggest
good feud.
lasting thing that was going on at this time of the year last year was the Intercontinental title, as opposed to where it is now. I mean, even though a great guy like Owens has it, it's not even close to where it was
Last
when
year.
Ziggler and Cesaro and Harper were going back and forth over it.
Miz as well.
Yeah, Miz too.
Yeah. Hey, who knows? Maybe Owens can bring that prestige up.
Hopefully.
This time.
Well, it's funny. We complain about what they're doing with Ziggler now. We complain about what they're doing with Cesaro right now, and these guys are right in the mix for it. Not too long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now they're even.
This was probably my favorite time of the year last year. Now, for some reason, these guys are on the pre-show doing really nothing.
That's pretty bad when you think about it.
Yeah.
These guys had a nice one-off feud between the two.
Yeah. And then just looking at the card, too. Two guys who actually, kind of before this pay-per-view already, two guys who right now are just not going to be on the roster for a while, Cena and Orton.
Yeah.
For number one contender.
One of the last times they fought each other. And
Hopefully the last time.
Yeah, I highly doubt that. They're so young, so they're probably going to fight each other.
Yeah.
Probably like at a WrestleMania or something, because they never fought one-on-one, so you got to expect that's going to happen.
Just not another long feud, hopefully.
Oh, God, that would be goddamn awful. I don't know about you guys. I mean, Zach has already expressed his opinions about it.
I wouldn't hate them feuding again if they let Orton go back to the real Orton, like the not PG Orton where he's just kicking people in the head. Like
he hasn't done that in
quite
some time.
I would obviously love it if Orton was the face and Cena turned heel.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, I think anyone would love that.
But if you put Orton in that Predator role, that's 100% where Orton's best, when he's like just stalking the prey like a viper, you know?
For sure.
If they put him back in that and then had him do like a personal feud with Cena again, like I'd be fine with that.
That could be interesting.
Outside of that, though, realistically, Cena's never going to turn heel. So
if they didn't have the title on line, I would be down for it for sure. Like this match here, I mean, it was for the number one contenders match, so it was kind of interesting to say the least. I don't know about you.
Yeah, and it's just Another thing too was Rusev versus Big Show. I mean, at that time, Rusev was still undefeated. He was still on that run.
What was the Rusev
He was
push?
still a beast.
Yep, he was, and we knew every time going in for the Rusev match he was going to win. He got fed to Henry and Big E and Swagger and Big Show and so on
And
and
it's
so forth.
always great to see Big Show get trashed. Any match.
Oh, absolutely.
I remember we were specifically starting to complain, like, right before this point, like, all right, Rusev, like, start taking on some, legitimate
Legit.
competitors. We don't want to see you beat Jack Swagger
Yeah.
for the 5th time. So I remember we were starting to get kind of happy that Big Show was, like, a step in the right
Yes,
direction
and
for
then
him.
then right after that he fought Sheamus for the U.S. title and beat
Yeah.
him. So I mean he did start going in the right direction, and then he got fed to Cena.
And then
so.
he got
Who, one thing I want to bring, who do you guys think is the, like, in biggest contrast from where they were at that point to where they are now, like, on this card? Like,
I
who
feel like-
changed the most out of
Who
everybody?
changed?
I
Yeah.
feel like the easy answer is AJ because she's not there anymore.
Well, that's
Okay,
besides her. Besides her,
excluding AJ.
I'm gonna say by just looking at the card.
Goldust as well.
Yeah, obviously, I'm gonna say the Miz.
Okay.
The Miz, he's not getting as many title opportunities, and if we not like him or not, the guy main event at WrestleMania. I mean, he won the world title before. He's won the Intercontinental title before, the U.S. title, tag title. He's been really downgraded just to being like a TV host for this Miz TV, pretty much. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I think he's really downgraded this past year after the Mizdow feud.
I'd agree.
Yeah, you're right. But also, we were just talking about Rusev. He's another one. He was just dropped so much.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with that either. I mean, he's just been downgraded as well.
But Nick.
I mean, the Usos have been
Yeah.
off for a while.
But that hurt
you
because-
have, half of them
Injury.
hurt.
Injury, yeah.
I mean, Nikki versus Brie. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
one I was definitely thinking about.
we were talking about before the show. That whole feud got really out of hand, and then this was the point where they dropped it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It just got ridiculous.
Even the whole personal assistant thing, they didn't go.
It didn't even go as planned.
And then only a few weeks later, like, they're best friends again when
Yeah.
they turn heel.
Well, it was Survivor Series because Brie kissed AJ and then
Bells
Nikki won the title.
are terrible.
Yeah, they are terrible.
My one,
I guess they haven't changed too much then.
Yeah,
Nah, it's been a year. They've been pretty much the same.
they've digressed.
But
yeah.
Nikki just stole AJ's accolade.
The main thing I wanted to bring up from that though is the whole "I wish you died in the womb" thing. That was a point where we were like, okay,
Wow.
they said that on TV. it like
I don't know.
I'm not sure if that was
was
good. I'm not sure.
unexpected.
Like we look back on and laugh and go, what the hell was that?
Like they actually say that on
It's
a
like crack-
TV show.
Crack
But
writing staff.
yeah, I can.
The one,
I mean, we're
What
saying
was it? A
it's
few
bad
months
to
ago when Heyman was going after... it's like when Heyman was going after, who is it? Reigns' family or something? Like,
Oh,
where
Simone
they-
his
background.
daughter.
his daughter. And
Oh
then, like,
no,
they
wasn't that Bray? Wasn't that Bray?
Yeah,
That's what it was. It was
Yeah, it was
Bray
Bray.
going after Reigns. But I'm just saying, it's like a similar situation. Like, they talk about it, then they might have realized it was terrible, and then they just drop it and never mention it again.
What? Who?
the one person I was really surprised none of you said was Amber.
I was. That was another person,
mean,
but I was
you know,
trying to think outside the
Main
box.
event, Hell in a Cell against the guy who's going to be the champion. Obviously, at this point, everyone knew Rollins was going to be the champ.
He was the
And
main
now
event.
Now he's on the pre-show in a 6-man tag. Like,
No, Ambrose isn't on the pre-show this year.
Jesus Christ! I'm thinking
they just
He
dropped
might be.
it.
yeah.
He
But
might be in the Cena challenge. Maybe.
Still booked
He
for
might.
the.
He
Still
might.
booked.
I feel he's going to show up somewhere.
I don't
He was
know-
still booked for the pre-show match with the Wyatts prior to this,
Right.
so
Yeah,
that's what I was going off
yeah.
of.
I
From
agree
the
with
fan
that.
perspective, I don't think Ambrose has lost any momentum. It's just in the booking, he's not.
Well, the
there.
booking recently, he's lost a little bit of momentum.
But you gotta remember too, that feud with Rollins got picked back up again
Yeah.
and then dropped again. So I mean, that feud can easily happen.
Well, I know you just said
One
like he
more
lost
time.
a little bit of booking or
Momentum.
heat with the fans.
Yeah.
True, but I think the second that
Oh, he'll
even
be
he
fine,
gets
yeah.
fans would get wind that he might be like pushed again, like he'll have every bit of support, if
That's
not more than before.
That's the reason I didn't pick him.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to think outside the box.
He had the belt for a couple days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
That was the loss of that pay-per-view, the trick. I mean, that was
so upsetting.
Oh,
Yeah,
my
I
God.
thought it was real.
I
It
lost
was-
my shit
I mean,
when he
and the
won.
ref.
I like hats
I was
off
so
to book
happy.
it. Hats off to booking for that, just for like pulling like something that we don't see that
fast one.
often.
Yeah.
But I mean, the fact that they saw that pop that Ambrose got at that point, then they didn't really do anything with him after
Yeah.
that. With
Well, they had him the next match in Money in the Bank, and then it was
this
pretty
is
much
like,
dropped.
yeah, he like, well, what? Why?
Yeah.
And also, the world title wasn't defended last year at Hell in a Cell, so
Yeah.
that was defended. They might. I mean, it was a great feud, and it probably should have still been the main event, but it might not have been the main event last year.
That's
Yeah,
the
the world,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
I
the
mean,
thing
if Brock's
too.
around, he's on.
Well, he's
top
probably the main
card,
event,
yeah.
That's the thing too. Looking back, like this isn't a problem that we're dealing with right now. But that's another thing. Not too long ago, this was a problem. The belt wasn't being defended because Lesnar was only.
There for his contract
I
was
mean,
different from now.
he's still part time, but he's a little bit more consistent now.
He is.
Yes,
yeah.
for sure.
He shows up
was-
to more roles too.
I was definitely in the smaller boat here on this one, where like you had a lot of vocal critics of, it sucks. Lesnar has the belt. He's not even
liked
around on
it.
the show. Yeah, I felt
It was cool.
You go back into the day, and you see Bruno Sammartino, Hulk Hogan, all these guys carrying the belts around. Wrestling wasn't on 100 hours a week like it is now. So we see the belt so often, and we
Yeah.
see these people so often that they lose like that superhero appeal to them.
Yes.
that it's like
I know what you mean.
holy
like to
shit.
me, he was just so badass because
Yeah.
he could just leave and come back whenever he wanted.
Yeah.
He was the champion. He's like the biggest guy there.
And then when you
he's
saw
like, screw you, I'm not
when you
coming.
saw the
I'll
belt,
be there when
you
I
were-
want to be there.
But when Brock came
Yeah.
at the Rumble, dude, it was hype. Like the crowd was hype. Like just to see a title match in September.
Me
for
and
Night of
Steve were there, by
Champions.
the way.
Yeah, I mean that
Philly
helps
Rumble,
too. But
2015.
but that was just so
Yeah,
hype.
You see him and you see the belt after such a long appearance of it not being there. It
Yeah.
makes it tenfold cooler.
Oh my god! It just brought the prestige back. I thought. I mean, Lesnar's been, I would say, in the last maybe 10 years, maybe one of the most strong champions we've had in quite some time.
I think
World champions.
I kind of want to coin. We'll call that the John Cena effect.
Yeah.
If something's there just so often, even though it's a good
Yeah.
thing, it just gets stale. So you
Like
think-
Kane, Big Show.
Take it away from us for a little bit. Make it more of a special
Attraction?
Yeah, and it'll be cool.
Yes.
You know,
That's why I think NXT is kind of cool.
Yeah, and it's part of the reason why Lesnar, we were just talking about him, is as hot as he is now, because when you see Lesnar, you know it's a big deal.
Yes, it is.
He's not there to just bullshit around and do nothing.
He's here to take names
Yeah.
and beat the shit out
And
of
also
people.
in January, we thought he might have been gone in 2 or 3 months. So
Yeah.
it was great to even see him. Like, be like, man, this is like one of his
This
might
might
be
be one
his
of his-
second to last big fight after Mania.
That's true.
As
That's
a
very true.
fan, knowing what I know now about the WWE in the past year, and then I yearn for the days of this Hell in the Cell last year, because I was having a much more fun time as a fan.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, right.
We still had all those classic NXT things to come.
Yeah.
But I mean, just the card here, on paper, knowing where these guys went, it's not as good looking back on it. But as a fan at that point,
Yeah.
looking to the future, this was awesome.
Oh yeah,
I remember-
watching it at the time, we were loving
It was a
every
fun show.
Well, not loving every second of it, but we did
a lot of it. Sheamus versus The Miz, I remember.
Surprisingly,
was pretty
that
cool.
wasn't that bad.
Yeah, as I said, I love the Intercontinental title at that point,
Yes.
and that's nowhere now.
Tag title matches, not too
Rollins
bad.
and Ambrose, Bray Wyatt returns. So there was a lot of hope at this point.
Yes.
And, if I could choose where I would be, knowing what I know now, it would definitely be back then.
Yeah.
I do want to highlight the tag title match, just because Stardust just started to become a thing.
Yeah, that
I
past
just-
year. Yeah.
Yeah, just looking back on it, then just what you guys thought at the time compared to now.
What, Stardust?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big Cody Rhodes fan. I'm always going to be a supportive of him. I wish he would go back to Cody, but I dig the gimmick, especially with the Cosmic Wasteland thing. They need to do more of it, though.
No, but I'm saying at the time
Oh.
when he first started running with Goldust.
Oh, I liked it because I thought it was cool that he was working with
It
his
was
brother.
cool at first because they were like, they were.
Brothers.
It was like twins. They were like, they
Yeah.
had the same gimmick, but like it got old.
It quickly got old.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was cool when it started.
Yeah.
However, like Steve said, I am a huge Cody Rhodes fan. Whatever he wants to do, I'll support. I think Stardust, the character, is proof 100% of how talented Cody Rhodes
Yes.
is. They give him like these stupid gimmicks, like when he was
When he had
The-
his broken nose and covered his
yeah,
face.
the
Handing
mustache,
out
yeah,
paper
His style
bags.
was
Was handing
ravishing
out
Cody
paper
Rhodes,
bags.
or
Yeah.
dashing Cody Rhodes,
Yeah, Dashing Cody Rhodes, yeah.
ravishing.
Ravishing. Ravishing Rick Rude.
But
Had him
I don't
feud
know,
with
like
DiBiase.
you give this guy anything and he's just kills it, like hits it out of the park. Like a more recent thing to reference, it's kind of sad, but the eulogy that he
Yep.
posted for his father, he posted it on Twitter for people who wanted to read it. Obviously performed it himself.
And the speech he gave after the NXT
I mean,
tournament.
All that's real that he's talking about, but that also, you see the ability to cut a promo in there. I mean,
Yeah, you could use
you hate
that.
to use a funeral as
I
a
know.
reason to do that, but.
Right. Not that, yeah.
You just see the talent that this kid has, and he can just pour emotions
Still
through
really
himself
young,
whenever.
too.
Yeah, he's not even 30 yet. He can wrestle with the best of them.
Yeah.
So to see him stuck in a gimmick like Stardust,
Yeah.
where it's cool, it's a novelty gimmick,
Yeah.
something in the future we'll look back on and be like, yeah, I remember when he was Stardust. That was kind of neat.
Yeah.
but it's not something they should keep him with long.
No.
I hope not. Because especially with him growing his hair out, I thought maybe he's going to be turning back soon, I would hope.
Yeah, I would have damn near put my life on the line saying that he would have came back as Cody Rhodes after his father passed.
Yeah. Well, we all
again,
I thought so too.
Another giant opportunity they had where it's you could take this and run with it and you might create a star
squandered it.
again.
Yes.
And they just pissed it away.
Out of all the mid-carders, he is probably the longest overdue for just a really good singles match against a good opponent at a pay-per-view. I mean, when's really the last time he was not on the pre-show or low down the Carter in a tag team?
I can't
Or had a
remember.
legitimate story attached to it.
Yeah, where he was a singles competitor probably a few years, really.
I've been preaching this all the time with this Seth Rollins Kane feud. He would have been perfect for that.
Mm-hmm.
As a Cody Rhodes, get the rub fighting with the champ. He doesn't have to win, but he gets a
They
nice little
obviously wouldn't have
storyline.
gave
You
it
know what
to
I
him,
mean?
But it would have been great just to
Exactly.
see him there. Even if it's just a singles match against somebody who's a good mid card or a top tier guy, just to get him back on
track.
Yeah.
A thing with Cody, it's not to the extreme levels of who I'm going to compare him to, but you can see a lot of similarities. Our champion, Seth Rollins. They're both really young guys.
Yeah.
They're both super athletic. They can both wrestle their ass off. They can play face or heel.
And he never had a world
They don't
champion.
shy away from,
Championship.
hitting the big spots in matches. They put everything they have out there. It's just it sucks to see someone who is nearly as talented as your champion, and I'm still going to put Seth a little bit above Cody. I think we all would.
Yeah.
But, he's damn near close, and to see him that far down on the card to where Rollins is just kind of a crime.
Yeah. There's so many guys we could go on.
Yeah, I could
there's
say that
something
about
like
Cesaro. I could say that about Owens. I could say that about Barrett. There's so many people.
Rusev, too.
Yeah.
And not that I'm for second generation guys and kissing ass because of who their dads were, but his dad was the great Dusty Rhodes, and to think that they never even gave him that world championship opportunity or push as long as he's been here and as talented as he is, and who his dad is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great point.
You see wrestlers even with I don't want to say lesser, but I'm going to lesser dads in the business, like Randy Orton. There you go.
Cowboy
Randy
Bob
Orton
Orton.
was handed, the championship on a gold platter when he was.
It helped that he was
He
with
definitely
Triple H and
deserved
Flair.
it, but he was giving it to it
taking
so young.
nothing away from Randy
No.
Orton. I'm just saying you can look at mirrored situations to
I know
Cody
exactly what you
Rhodes,
mean.
and it's just weird to see where he is with who he is and his
Yeah.
brother too. It's not even
Goldust.
just his dad. Everyone looks at Goldust as a joke character in WWE history, but
he pulled it off.
well, if you look
outstanding.
behind the scenes, Goldust is a big guy backstage in WWE. He doesn't have booking power and everything, but
he's
there with the wrestlers. You see him at all the retirement shows.
This last run he had was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Probably the best shape of his career.
Right.
And he was just having stellar matches. I remember the one time he had a singles match with Orton on Raw.
And he's
5
been,
stars.
He's been around for so long too.
Early
People
90s.
forget that he wrestled way before he was Goldust.
Yeah,
too,
Dustin Reynolds,
Uh-huh.
his real name. And WCW actually did too, and he wrestled in TNA and everything. He was a great athlete too. I don't know if he was world championship material, but he was close.
I don't think he was. He was close, but for who he was, he did a great job.
Yes, he did.
Another thing I wanted to bring up with this pay-per-view was we had arguably, I think, for me at least, the biggest letdown. No, I take that back. Ziggler not getting anything after Survivor Series is the biggest letdown for me recently. However,
when he won the whole thing himself.
We have Miz TV here with Damian Mizdow, and the biggest disappointment I'm talking about is the fact that they did not capitalize on the gold that Damian Sandow was
Even
putting
a few
out
months
there.
ago with him and Axel, they just dropped him. They were both hilarious.
Well, that was due to Hulk Hogan comments.
Well, no, they dropped that before even that. They stopped doing that, really. Yeah. They just
but
stopped.
They could have dropped the characters, but
that put the
those
nail
two
in the
could have.
coffin.
Yeah.
Those two came out the next week in two completely different characters, and
Or their old
Sandow
characters,
definitely
yeah.
could have pulled it off. I don't know about Axel, but
Dude, what if Sandow just came out as Coco Beware? I would probably.
I'm just
the
amazed.
one week he came out as Lance Stevenson,
Yeah.
so ridiculous.
Yeah.
He
I'm just
He was Davy Crockett.
I'm just amazed.
Some random historical figure.
I know.
I'm just amazed that Sandow has not been on TV ever since after Mania.
Yeah, I remember
He's been on Raw, but
you guys
it's
probably
all-
remember me bitching about it. What does this say? If you're Vince McMahon and you're like, oh, these new crop of superstars need to go out here and grab that brass ring. What does it say to your young guys in your company who aren't that high up on the card? They're fighting for scraps right now. To see someone like Damian Sandow go out there and do what he did with that horrible joke of a just terrible gimmick. See him
really
go
goes
out
to show
there
you.
and do what he did.
Worked his ass off.
Get that much fan support. Yeah, just busting his ass. The little movements he was doing, everything. And
Copying
he just
Miz.
gets nothing for it.
There's no brass
He gets
ring.
shit on, and he essentially puts the Miz over, who they do nothing with.
Nope.
And then he just goes away off TV into a joke angle with Axel, who he again gets over.
Axel
and then,
too.
Again, they just say, "Screw you guys.
If
We don't
McMahon
care."
doesn't
You
like
could be on the live-
he's
you
not
could-
going to push you. That's
You could be on the live
You
event
could be the
shows.
greatest guy in the world, but if McMahon's not in favor of you, there's nothing you can do.
You can see you see examples with like even the inverse of that, like people who the fans aren't necessarily behind, but if Vince McMahon likes you,
You're
here you
going
are on
there.
the card.
Roman Reigns.
Sheamus winning Money in the Bank.
Sheamus,
Like,
yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Jack Swagger. I mean, even though we like Swagger, he
Yeah.
won Money in the Bank.
5 years ago, and like even if you just rewatch any of his segments, it's just
God
they're
awful.
just it's like if he was world heavyweight champion,
Oof.
it would be terrible with all the guys on the roster now.
Yeah.
And it's like, but as I was saying, like that's the biggest disappointment because I remember like all of us we were talking about when we were watching the pay-per-views together. Like at this point, like what are they gonna do with Sandow? Like this dude's awesome.
Yeah.
Like the fans are going nuts for him. He probably at this point, other than Ambrose and Ziggler, he was probably getting the biggest pops on the entire roster coming out.
For sure.
And you could even argue that he was getting bigger pops than Ambrose and Ziggler in certain crowds. So, like, just to see that them.
I'm just surprised they didn't capitalize on the face turn,
Yeah.
especially when he turned on Miz at Mania.
Yeah,
I just thought.
Remember,
But they kind of, I know.
remember they had like they did his turn like on like a random like Raw or SmackDown
before
or something.
Mania, they
yeah.
like degraded him as like
just
not as
something
a
stupid.
copy or whatever he was. What was he called again?
I don't even. Remember.
Okay, well he was a copier.
It's just some garbage.
Backup actor or something.
Yeah.
Stunt double. There we go. That was what I was looking for. And and then they made him as like his assistant, like a bitch or something. And it was kind of stupid. After that, I don't know, but Sandow should have been pushed a lot more, and he's not getting the deserved time that he deserves. Honestly.
Another person, and I know they can't push everybody, so, we talk about, like, they got to push this person, they got to push that. We know they can't do it to everybody, but we're just saying, pick some of these people that we're talking about.
Look, you can't push everyone, but there's some guys that deserve it.
But another one I saw on this card, he's on the pre-show, Bo Dallas. He loses to Mark Henry on the pre-show match here, but, like, Bo Dallas is another guy, like, your NXT champion, Bo Dallas, who, when you had a competent writing and booking staff in NXT, and like they understood the Bo Dallas character, that dude was gold on it.
He was a good heel champion.
Oh, amazing!
Yes.
Yeah. Bo Dallas is awesome.
Got to do with the screech.
The fact that he's like
was a lot better.
very like flabby too, so like he's not like this chiseled.
Yeah,
Like,
he's just like a random guy just coming
Yeah.
out talking bullshit.
he like runs around jogging and his like stomach bounces. And he's got like whitey tighty looking trunks
He was
on. He's just perfect. Like everything about him fits that character. That just douchebag.
I don't see him as you go, Zach.
No, you good.
I don't see him as a world champion, but I definitely see him as like a top mid card champion.
Oh
for
yeah,
sure.
definitely.
That's something they could have done. And I thought he was going to get the IC champ at some point. Never got it.
Now he's just a jobber.
Yeah.
You can see he got his mic heels from his brother too. Like, he just-
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Bo's all, I always like in my head I compared him to like a passive aggressive like more friendly version of White Goodman from Dodgeball.
Yeah.
Like like puts people down, but like he's like more like jovial and jolly about it. But I mean, just another one, Bo Dallas.
I
right
like to
there.
break a metal sweat too.
And he got destroyed this year by Lesnar,
Oh
and
my God.
Rock, Shawn
If that
Michaels,
if that
Sting.
dude didn't
He's
get,
gotten
like,
destroyed by pretty much
Nobody makes me
everyone since
bleed
he's
my
come
own
up to
blood.
the main
if he
roster.
didn't get
Yeah.
a 6-figure pay bump from that Lesnar beating,
Yes.
he got royally screwed.
Yeah, for sure. What would,
Another person that I saw on here.
AJ Lee?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get into. We talked about her earlier. We kind of wrote her off when we were talking about people.
I mean, she was here this past
mean-
year, so I mean,
From what I remember, AJ versus Paige was actually a pretty good match.
Yeah,
they always had good
They had a
matches.
good feud because they're both good wrestlers.
Yes, and this was actually one of the more entertaining women's feuds on the main roster for sure.
And they
quite
had-
some time.
They had a good feud going after WrestleMania too.
Yeah, they did.
Well, WrestleMania when
30.
Yes.
Yeah.
the Raw after when
Yep.
Paige came up, they had
Yeah.
a good feud going there.
Since
they
they didn't
did.
have many as good divas, then when especially when AJ Lee left, they only had Paige and Natalia, and that was pretty much it for a while.
Yeah, and Naomi, if you want to count that. I mean, she
Yeah.
was
But
okay.
the title was staying between.
She seemed good for
those
who they
two.
had.
Yeah.
So like
It
there
was
was
an interesting feud.
The Divas title still like always had this weird standing me like it didn't have as much weight to it as the other belts did.
Yeah.
To me, but like when it was
Definitely
between
far lower on the rung. Like I didn't care when the Divas title really switched.
It was a
hands.
bathroom break.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed Paige
between
that year.
AJ and Paige, it had some legitimacy to it.
Yeah, I agree. AJ is one of my favorite divas of all time. I love AJ Lee. Paige is awesome too. So I was definitely paying attention more now. But I get what you're saying 100%. With like, it's just like, all right, whatever.
It's not that we're against women. Well, 3 of us.
Then when it went to
Steve.
When it went to Nikki, it was just okay.
But yeah, like I don't know. It's because like back then, like even when they were paying like attention to the belt, there still wasn't really a story. It was just like, oh, there's a belt and there's 2 people fighting over it. Like,
but the thing about it was because for so long, even before the Divas Revolution was a thing, you saw AJ and you saw Paige, and for the first time in a while, you saw 2 people where you looked at them and said, they know what they're doing.
They could work. They could talk.
You saw 2 woman wrestlers. You didn't see 2 divas. You saw
You didn't see 2 total divas on TV.
Yeah, you saw 2 women who were just wrestlers.
Yes.
Well,
they weren't divas. They weren't all this like dumb shit where.
And they could tell a story.
Like glitz and glam, like the Bellas.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that show just started too, but they weren't on it. So you took them more seriously because of that too.
Isn't Paige on it now?
Yeah.
Like almost everybody.
Everyone's on it.
I watch it every week.
Guilty pleasure.
I don't know if AJ ever got heat for not wanting to be on it because I knew she took a couple jabs at it on the air.
Yeah.
Well, AJ, I mean, who she wound up married to, I mean, it's very.
Are we surprised?
Good. Yeah, it was good for her personality because
my boy.
She definitely wasn't one who shied away from taking jabs at WWE corporate. And I respected the hell out of her for that. I get mad when Cesaro and Ziggler and those guys do it because they don't have the power that AJ Lee had because she recognized she was the top diva. They couldn't just be like, oh, sorry AJ Lee, you're gone. Like
if they threw her away,
little girls would riot all over.
Yeah.
So I respected that she used that position to really call people out. Like Steph earlier this year.
Earlier, sure.
This isn't that Hell in the Cell, but pertinent. AJ Lee when she called out Steph for the whole Divas Revolution. Yeah, girls have to come out and work with 2-minute matches and whatnot. And well, I really think how we were bitching, how they give Stephanie McMahon all the credit for the Divas Revolution. I think that's in direct relation to AJ Lee's series of tweets.
We've talked about this countless times off air too.
Yeah.
Like, this is totally the reason.
We talked about it countless times on air.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
That
but
too.
I respect the hell out of AJ Lee for doing what she did.
You respect AJ and you respect her husband too, don't you, Mike?
Oh, dude, fuck Cena. That's one. That dude is such a complete tool.
All right,
such a douchebag.
We get it. You don't like
we
him.
We know you don't like him.
Yeah.
All right.
That's 2.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, Rusev, Big Show.
I mean, we really didn't get too much into the Ziggler-Cesaro match yet.
Yeah, we actually didn't. That
was good.
That was probably one of the matches of the night besides Ambrose and Rollins.
I think this might have been my favorite match on the card. The Hell in the Cell had more like big moments, but overall, I think this was like the best pure match. And it was crazy, the ending too. Like 2-0.
Yeah, you don't see that too often. I felt bad for Cesaro because I'm like, he couldn't even get a fall.
Buried. It's not even. It's you can't like not believe.
Hey, Ziggler does too. So.
I know it was real bittersweet for all of us. We all said the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, it was cool Ziggler got the win. He was probably the better winner at this point.
Yeah.
But it was weird saying Cesaro not gonna pin.
I remember we were making the picks like at my house, and we're like, this is a tough match.
I wasn't a Cesaro fan as much a year ago.
Yeah.
I wish we would have thought of this beforehand, but you should have went back and found the sheet I filled out for the picks.
Oh yeah, that would have been funny.
I don't even remember.
Do you still have all this?
Oh yeah.
Oh, he keeps.
I have a pretty good amount of them.
He hangs them up on his wall.
Yeah, hang them up on the wall.
His fridge is just littered.
Yeah, it's like, Mommy, grade them for me. This one's an A+.
Yeah.
What?
It's like I don't know, homework or something.
Did they get hung on
He
the
fails
fridge?
his regular.
No, it was a joke.
He fails his regular homework, so his mom pretends to grade those.
Yeah, but
one thing we didn't really get. One thing we didn't get too into, and I mean where it is now, it's on the complete opposite end of the spectrum is the U.S. title.
Yeah.
Because Cena has it.
Yeah, there was some focus on it at this point. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
we were all like kind of excited for the match. It wasn't like a top match, but it was decent.
Sheamus was given a good shot to run with the U.S. title. He didn't defend it as much, but I mean, I thought this was a really good match. I mean, just between the two.
Yeah.
Especially Miz, he put on a good showing here, even though he wasn't winning.
For 2 dudes of Sheamus and Miz's I don't know, like star power or draw or whatever, they did a good job at what they worked with.
I mean, I didn't think Miz was going to win, obviously, but
No.
I mean, it was good. This was good. Like Miz was getting more like mid-card title matches. He got the IC title for a little bit while, like from Battleground to like all the way to Night of Champions, and then he switched to the U.S. title. And then they went to get the tag titles. It was like good storyline progression for him and Sandow, I thought.
Yeah.
This is another one too where I look at it, and at the time, we were all for Mizdow.
Yes.
We couldn't get enough of it, but Sheamus had the U.S. title, and we're like, okay, Sheamus.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Now it's, Sheamus. Why?
Shows you what, I don't know. Just
Creative
shitty
booking.
booking can do to a person.
Or not giving
Just
him
because he
the
has a briefcase, like,
Yeah.
if he didn't have the briefcase, you would at least enjoy him a little bit more.
Yeah. They, them,
Maybe it's the Mohawk. I don't
them
know.
giving him the briefcase really
Maybe it's
soured
the
him on
braids in
me.
his beard.
I think it's the braids on the beard.
No.
The Mohawk's cool.
It's the briefcase is the thing that put Sheamus.
Oh, that put it over the
Yeah.
top.
Does he have the
It was like-
Mohawk?
That was
because
the
of
icing
Ninja
on the
Turtles?
cake.
Yeah, that was retarded.
I really
Like
don't know.
when he won that match at the Money in the Bank this year, like got no reaction. No. Usually when the guy wins, even Jack Swagger got
Who
a damn
were we
reaction.
predicting to win?
Reigns, because it was so
That's who
obvious.
it was,
We always
right.
thought it was obvious, and I'm like, I was kind of pissed. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of pissed Reigns didn't win.
I thought
honestly.
Reigns wasn't going to win because I didn't think they want to make Reigns look so strong when he does win the title, not on a cash in.
Yeah, I mean there was,
It's
but like,
not the Miz.
especially how they booked it. There wasn't really that many contenders for that match to win that title.
It was
honestly.
hard to predict.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It's just in a completely different spot now, though, the title. Like,
But the U.S. title,
yeah, with Cena holding onto it, it just raised it to a whole nother
Oh,
level.
it definitely
and,
did.
That's one of the good things about John Cena. We can shit on him all we want,
Yes.
but Cena definitely is
Brings
amazing.
prestige to
Ste-
stuff.
Cena, being in the same ring with Cena is going to do something for you.
Like Kevin Owens,
You
even
know?
though we bitched about how the booking was, but
Yeah.
it did give him a nice little rub.
It's not always going to do a great thing for you.
Yeah, yes.
But
It will
it'll
do
do
something.
something.
I mean,
Yeah.
the open
something will
challenge is
happen
awesome.
being with Cena.
The
It
open
might be
challenge is
good.
awesome.
It
What's
might
that?
be bad.
It was.
I don't know.
What was that, Zach?
It's always cool to see his open challenge every week, but I mean, like, and it's great to see all that good talent he's fighting, but he hasn't lost it yet, like the open challenge. Like, that's the
Yeah.
other thing. It's just another Cena win every week. It's like, oh, he's fighting, like when Sami Zayn
Dolph
came out,
Ziggler.
it's like, oh, that's great, he's here, but, well, he's going to lose.
Dude, he's going to lose it this Sunday to DeAndre Jordan.
I don't care who he fights. It'd be great if he lost. I just want him to lose it.
Yeah, he's gotta
6
lose.
weeks. He's
Actually,
away.
no. It's Heath Slater.
Yeah.
Slater push is happening.
I think he's just got to lose it, though.
What am I?
You said the last episode we just did yesterday.
I'm like,
He's going to pull a Lesnar, right? You think he's not going to drop it?
I don't think he's not going to drop it throughout when he's off. But
You know,
I don't
You said
think,
Raw the next night or something?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to drop it at this pay.
You know what I could see?
I really think they're going to pull the shock booking because everyone thinks he's going to lose it
Yeah.
no matter who.
You know what
so I think he pulls off a win. Everyone's like, "Holy shit, is he not going off?"
Yeah.
Then he comes out the next night on Raw. That gives them a little mic time for him to talk to whoever comes out. They come out and beat the shit out of him, and he's gone for 2 months or however.
I was going to say.
I would be. I wouldn't like that, honestly.
I was going
opposed to what?
No, it's just
Him just walking after he loses.
give the guy a pay per view moment.
Yeah.
I think I take the. I definitely take the Raw.
I want him to drop the title.
Yeah, I don't care if it's. I really don't care if it's the pay per view or the Raw. I just want him to lose it.
Yeah, either way, it'd still be good. I would definitely rather have the Raw, though. I think the credibility of injuring Cena is cooler than just beating him.
Just
Right.
No, better way to describe it, I think, is like don't. Oh man, I just lost it again.
You could always injure him on the next Raw
No.
as well.
Yeah.
I mean, on the
Actually-
pay per view. I'm saying on the pay per view
All
as
right,
well.
I got it back.
It's
Don't-
probably what's going to happen. He's
Don't
gonna
make Raw the swerve. Like, don't make it a swerve. Like, oh, he didn't lose it at the pay per view, so he's gonna hold on to it for the 2 months that he's gone. And everyone knows, and it's just like, oh wait, no, he's not. Like, that's
The thing
But that
I-
at least
I think
makes
that's
something
a
good
good
happen
comment.
on Raw, though.
I think that's a good thing.
Yeah, I think that is a good-
I don't see the negatives of
The
that.
thing I was gonna
they don't
say-
ever do anything on Raw, so if they do something of note,
I mean,
worthy,
it'll be cool to get the TV change. I just like don't want it to be seen as a trick play when it's not really much of a trick play.
Well, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying.
I was gonna say, like you said, if Cena does somehow win this Sunday, or does keep it, I say, like you said, he's gonna maybe show up on Raw, have him relinquish the title and make a U.S. title tournament, and then when he comes back, fights that winner, whoever has it.
yeah, that could be cool. But I would
Just
be
something
nervous.
interesting.
I would be nervous that they would take too long with the tournament, and it would just be
Just something different. I
people
don't know.
battling, and then whoever wins it drops
Big
it to
Show would
Cena
end
right
up
when he
winning
comes
it.
back.
What's that? Yeah, but
That's what I'm more scared of with anything here. It's cool, like everyone's saying, like, oh, Cena's going to drop it to someone, which he probably obviously is if
Yes.
he's going away. But, like, I've been a wrestling fan for too long to know that all that means is Cena's going to beat this person when he comes back.
That gives me the feeling that if they were to do something like that, Big Show would probably win it.
No, there's
but also
no
Cena hates putting people over. So if at the pay-per-view on Hell in a Cell on Sunday, whoever he fights just injures him, or maybe somebody else comes up and attacks him, and he wins via disqualification, he'll probably just walk out injured the next night, saying he might be going away anyway, but he has his open challenge one more time, and that's where he loses it because he's injured. He's not going to lose with a straight up.
If there's a way for them to muddy the win for whoever gets it, they'll definitely do it.
Yeah. Right. Besides Cena being champion, there's no chance in hell Big Show's going to win because every champion right now is so young. Or like their NXT crop, you know what I mean? With like New Day, Charlotte, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, etc. I don't see them going that route. They could surprise me, but
that would be terrible.
It would be terrible.
They can't do it. They know everybody's so sick of Big Show.
Yeah,
it's not a good heel. It's just an annoying heel. Get the hell out.
Yeah,
I just feel like given the WWE's tendency for this kind of stuff, like it wouldn't be too crazy if that were.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree with you.
As passionately as I am arguing for what Steve's saying, I can look back at my history of WWE fandom and find, a multitude of times where I was just as passionately saying, "There's no fucking way they're going to do this," and then, oh, what do you know? Yep. They swerve and pull the obviously stupid thing.
Or like Sheamus winning Money in the Bank. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But
yeah,
I don't even think that's still as bad as Big Show having a title right
now. No, I'm just
worse as it can get right now.
Oh no, I know it can.
Him having any title.
I'm just comparing the two. I'm just saying it could be something like that.
He could always be holding the world championship.
Oh,
it'd be.
You better find one and knock.
There's no way. I feel the way ratings are.
Steve faint there.
The way ratings are on Raw the last few weeks, and how much it is obvious. Everybody hates Big Show.
Shut up.
Yeah.
You can't give him any championship. At all.
My counterpoint to that, though, is...
They're going to show the stands of fans walking out when he wins the title.
My counterpoint to that, however, is there are many things that are very obvious that fans are supporting or going against. However, creative and booking, obviously knowing these things, just go the complete opposite way anyway. So even if they're very well aware of something, they don't seem to give a shit. Like,
I don't understand your ratings on Raw.
Whatever their prerogative is, it goes forward no matter what fans are reacting to.
I mean, even in the last few years when all the fans were complaining they were going to riot, they never really did. People were still watching the shows weekly, but they need to keep their ratings up. They got to find a way to get it back up.
As CM Punk said, the wheel keeps churning on and on and on. I'm just someone that's on right now.
Yeah,
that's what he said.
Just a cog.
Yep.
All right, but we're getting into future ideas and something that we just kind of made up on the spot down to complaints that we've had with creative forever now. So just to kind of turn it back to last year's Hell in a Cell, in contrast with this year's, just looking at each card.
Michael Cole!
Alright, you carry this podcast on without.
Come back!
Michael Cole has left the building.
He's leaving.
Bring Jim Ross in there. We want Ross. Alright, so, like we were saying, Rollins and Ambrose, guys. Pretty fantastic, right?
Oh yeah, pretty fantastic.
Yeah, just the spots and everything. I'm Corey Graves, and this is JBL, and this is our new band, Lawler.
I'm back on Raw, fellas.
And this is the Smark Show.
Yep, JBL here. You guys can subscribe, comment. You could like our stuff.
It'll be a good one, Michael.
Do some YouTube stuff that Michael Cole usually says at the end of this podcast.
It's just like Netflix, guys.
You can follow him at It's Michael Cole on Twitter, or it's Snick or It's Cole, something.
It's Heel Cole.
Yeah. You can follow Nick at It's Snick on Twitter.
Yes, you can follow me on at Stephen Herman 10.
Zach, you're at.
And again, I don't do online stuff, so you can't find me anywhere other than Steve's house.
Yes, or eating a pizza.
You might be here again sometime too.
And Mike, where can they follow you at?
You cannot follow me, but you can follow us collectively at The Smark Show on Twitter.
Yes.
You can use our hashtag The Smark Show. Real creative. I came up with it myself.
Yes, you can't follow us. You can follow the buzzers.
All right. We'll see you next week.